This was Talanta Stadium, an open stretch of land, bare ground exposed to the elements, a vision that existed more on paper than in reality. For a long time, it felt distant, like another ambition project waiting to be tested by time, patience, and execution. Many questioned whether it would truly rise, whether momentum would hold, whether Talanta Stadium would ever become more than a concept. But standing here today, that doubt feels misplaced because Talanta Stadium is no longer an idea. It's no longer a proposal or a promise. It's a structure, scale, and progress unfolding in real time. This documentary is not simply about showing what the stadium looks like today, it's about tracing the journey, understanding how far it has come, how it's evolved, and why this project now carries weight far beyond its foundations. So make sure you like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more updates like these in the future. When construction first began, progress appeared slow to the public eye. Heavy machinery reshaped the land, foundations were dug deep and weeks passed with little visible change above the ground. To many, it felt stagnant. But this stage defines everything. Talanta Stadium was designed to support immense loads, multi-tier seating, expansive roofing systems, broadcast lighting, and tens of thousands of spectators moving simultaneously. The groundwork had to be precise. Errors at this stage would echo for decades, and beneath the surface, the future stadium was being secured. Gradually, the first signs of vertical growth emerged. Concrete columns began to rise, structural frames took form, and for the first time, the scale of the project could be understood. From certain angles, you could recognize it: the curve of a ball, the footprint of an arena, incomplete, rough, and exposed but unmistakable. This was the turning point. Talanta Stadium began shifting in perception. It was no longer about if it would happen, it became about how far it would go. As construction advanced, the sitting bone started to define itself. Tier by tier, the geometry emerged, carefully circulated to ensure clear sight lines, controlled acoustics, and an intense atmosphere. Every angle mattered. Every curve served a purpose. This is where Talanta separates itself from smaller venues. The rake of the stands, the enclosure of the ball, and the depth of the tires are all designed to amplify sound and emotion, a requirement for modern international competition. So, looking back at earlier footage, the contrast is striking. What once felt like scattered structural elements now reads as a unified arena taking shape. But the true complexity of Talanta Stadium lies beyond what spectators will immediately see. Behind the stands and beneath the seating, an entirely different world is forming. Player tunnels, locker rooms, technical areas, media zones, medical facilities, operational corridors. These spaces define whether a stadium can function at an international level. This is where Talanta ambition becomes clear. This is not a stadium built only to host matches, it is built to host events. As interior works continue, the stadium begins to feel alive even before the first crowd arrives. Circulation routes form, spaces connect, and the structure starts to become like a system rather than a collection of parts. One of the most defining stages in Talanta's evolution is the roofing and the lighting phase. This is where engineering precision meets architectural identity. The roof is designed to offer coverage while maintaining airflow and natural light. It balances comfort, efficiency, and visual presence. Lighting systems are positioned to meet broadcast standards, ensuring consistent illumination across the pitch for both players and global audiences. At this stage, the project transitions. Talanta Stadium moves from heavy construction into refinement, from mass and structure into detail and performance. As the stadium matures, another transformation becomes evident: its relationship with its surroundings. Make sure you like, subscribe, and continue staying tuned for more updates like this in the future. And I'll continue updating you on the latest projects around Nairobi. Talanta is not being built in isolation. It exists within a broader urban and sporting vision. Access roads, pedestrian flow, service corridors, and cloud management system all shape how the stadium will perform on match days. From elevated views, the scale becomes undeniable. The symmetry of the ball, the way the structure anchors the landscape, Talanta Stadium is no longer something you pass by, it's something you notice. Inside, finishing elements begin to define experiences rather than construction. Corridors widen, staircase guide movement, functional spaces take on character. This is the phase where progress accelerates. Electrical systems, mechanical services, safety infrastructure all begin integrating into the structure. Each completed layer pushes the stadium closer to operational reality. What makes Talanta Stadium particularly significant is its flexibility. It's not limited to football alone. Athletic events, ceremonies, national celebrations, and international tournaments all become possible within the same arena. This versatility is what defines a modern stadium, and it is here that Talanta's long-term value becomes clear. For athletes, this stadium represents aspiration, a stage that meets global standards. For fun, it represents access, world-class events without leaving home. For the nation, it represents confidence. Confidence in infrastructure, confidence in execution, confidence in the future of sports development. And when looking back once more at the earlier stages of the construction, the contrast feels almost unreal. The silence of open ground has been replaced by the language of structure, beams, tires, corridors, and system all working towards a single purpose. Progress here is not cosmetic, it is foundational. Every visible improvement reflects countless decisions made behind the scenes, decisions that shape safety, longevity, and performance. As Talanta Stadium continues towards completion, anticipation builds naturally. Not for just the opening day, but for what follows. The first kickoff, the first anthem, the first roar of a full crowd echoing through the ball. Those moments are coming. And when they do, they will be backed by years of planning, persistence, and steady transformation. Talanta Stadium is no longer waiting to become something. It is becoming. From bare ground to a rising arena, this is Talanta Stadium. And this is only the beginning. So Talanta Stadium is very awesome. And comparing the first shot with what you are seeing now, this is the stadium people have been waiting for. Remember that the Talanta Stadium will be hosting a capacity of 60,000 people, and this will much reflect what match days will look like. Crowds moving around the stadium, many people having different access points because there'll be an establishment of vendors around the stadium. There will be enough sitting areas so that people can chill outside. And this scale matters because every little detail will be accounted for. These moments are coming, and when they do, they will be backed by years of planning, construction, and steady transformation, all captured in the journey Talanta Stadium has taken to reach this point. So Talanta Stadium was designed to carry immense loads with thousands of seats, towering the roof structure, lighting, and tens of thousands of spectators moving, and everything that exists today stands on decision made earlier on the first days of constructing this project, and when progress was measured not in height, but it was measured in depth. And gradually the first signs of vertical growth appeared, and when people saw the column rising, the shields being made, and the concrete frames taking shape, that's for the first time that people saw the scale of the project becoming visible. So standing here today, looking at what has emerged from the same ground, it becomes clear that Talanta Stadium is no longer an idea. It is a big structure, it has good scale, and its progress is unfolding in real time. This documentary is not just about showing what Talanta Stadium looks like now, but it's about understanding how far it has come from its earliest days through uncertainty into a phase where momentum can no longer be ignored. For years, it was just an idea, lines on paper, promises and delays. Many doubted it would ever rise. But today, when we look at this project, this is no longer a concept. This is Kenya's most ambitious sports project taking shape in real time. And in this documentary, we are not just showing progress, we are revealing how far Talanta Stadium has truly come from bare ground to a world-class arena. This is Talanta Stadium then versus now. Talanta Stadium was never meant to be just another football ground. It was envisioned as a national symbol, a stadium capable of hosting continental and global events. From the very beginning, the goal was scale, durability, and international standards. Early plans showed a multi-tier bowl, modern roofing, athlete facilities, and surrounding infrastructure designed for crowds, movement, and safety. But like many mega projects, progress was slow at first, and public confidence was tested. The earliest stages focused on groundwork, excavation, filling, and foundation work, and at this stage, progress often looks unimpressive to the public. No visible structure, just soil, machinery, and patience. But this phase will determine everything that comes after. And now that you can see the huge progress, Talanta's deep foundation were designed to support these massive loads, the standards and the fan, roofing system, lighting, and tens of thousands of spectators. This is where Talanta Stadium began to transform. Concrete columns emerging, tier by tier, and the ball started forming. From afar, you could finally recognize the stadium's footprint, its curvature, scale, and dominance over the surrounding area. This was the moment public perception began to change, and Talanta was no longer an idea, it was rising. The design for visibility, acoustic, and crowd intensity, every angle is calculated. Compared to early footage, the transformation here is dramatic. What once looked like raw concrete now reads as a finished arena framework.